What's going on, you guys? Josh here, also known as Harry Tornado. If you follow my channel at all, you know that I'm pretty big when it comes to transparency. So in today's video, and in the spirit of transparency, I'd like to share with you guys exactly how much money I've made in 2019 from my reselling business. When you break everything down, I have 6 income streams inside of my reselling business. So I'm just gonna break those down, tell you what those are, and just tell you exactly how much money they've made me. The point of making this video today is not to brag, because honestly, it's not that much money to begin with. I've only been full-time reselling in YouTube since August, so it's just not about really the money. It's just about being transparent with you guys, and also just I want to give you a realistic expectation of how much money you can really make as a single person reselling operation. Now, I definitely do not expect a ton of resellers to make this type of video because, you know, it's weird. Like we've all been raised to not talk about money, not talk about how much money we make, not talk about our debt. And I'm just trying to jump out of that bubble a little bit. Again, I want to be transparent with you guys. I want you guys to get a realistic grasp on how much money you can make. And honestly, I'm a little tired of seeing people talk about their sales on Amazon, eBay, Poshmark, whatever. Sales means nothing. That might be just my opinion. Again, not holding against anybody else, but I personally don't want to hear about your sales unless you're also talking about your cost of goods and your expenses. So again, this is just my video. This is what I want to do. I want to be transparent and honest with you guys. I'm not pushing any other resellers to do this. I'm not saying they're wrong for not doing it. This is just me. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. So I said in the beginning of this video that I have 6 income streams inside of my reselling business, and the number one stream obviously is eBay. From January 1st, 2019 until December 29th, 2019, which was yesterday, I've had a total of $37,841 in sales on eBay. Of course, you have to take out your eBay fees and your PayPal fees and your promoted listing fees. If you do that, you have to take out your cost of goods. So on average, I operate at about a 50% profit margin. So if you have $100,000 in sales, generally about $50,000 of that will be profit. Using this rule, that means I have had a profit of about $18,929 in 2019. This is also just accounting for eBay, PayPal, and cost of goods. This is not accounting for any kind of office supplies I've bought this year. I bought a new camera this year. There's some miscellaneous expenses that come into play with this, but this is just my profits on the actual items I've sold, not including any miscellaneous expenses. I think a fair estimate would probably be I've spent about $1,000 on those miscellaneous supplies this year. So let's just say my total income from eBay after everything has been about $18,000. Again, I was a very part-time eBay seller from January 1st until August 18th, I believe. And after that, when I was laid off from my job, that's when I became full-time. So the majority of this eBay income has happened in the last 3 months. My goal in 2020, or Zozo, if you get that reference, is going to be $50,000 in actual taxable income. So if I can double my eBay sales to about $70,000, $75,000, plus add in some extra income from YouTube, I think that will be a pretty achievable goal for me, again, working as a single person operation. My next highest source of income in my reselling business is my YouTube channel. I've been making reselling based YouTube videos since February of 2019, but my channel was not monetized to make money until August of 2019. It's kind of funny that I was laid off from my job the very same week that I was monetized on YouTube. You know, God works like that sometimes. Since that week in August when I was monetized, I have made a total of $2,141 on YouTube. YouTube pays out once a month. My first check was like $300, and the next month it was like $420. The next month it went up to almost $600, and this month, I'll get the check in January, but it'll be for December, and that check will be for about $1,000. I'm really excited right now because I really feel the momentum of my YouTube channel. I'm super grateful for each of you guys that have bothered to subscribe and like and watch my videos, because if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have made any money on YouTube. Now, the same with eBay, how most of my income has come from the last 3 months. All of my YouTube income has come from the last 3 months. So even if I only make the same amount of money next year, that should be about $10,000 to $12,000 from YouTube next year. And I'm sure that that amount will be more because I'll probably have more subscribers as we go out this next year. I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but I've gained almost 1,500 subscribers in the last week. So hopefully that trend continues into 2020. My next highest source of income has been Amazon FBA. This is when you send stuff to Amazon and Amazon sells it for you and ships it to the customer. I don't do a ton of FBA sales. It's usually, if I find something new in the box at a thrift store that appears to be new, unopened, never used with no shelfware, I'll send that into Amazon. Probably my biggest seller on Amazon this year has been VCR combo units. I think I've sold 5 or 6 of them this year. So that's been a majority of my income. On Amazon, after fees, cost of goods, and everything this year, I've made a total of $1,014. So I guess growing my Amazon sales in 2020 is not a huge goal for me, but I will continue to thrift, and when I find those certain items that do well on Amazon, I'll definitely continue to sell them there. My next high source of income has been Patreon. Now, when people join my Patreon, they pay like a monthly fee, and usually with certain packages, they get a free t-shirt or a free poster. So after the expenses of buying those t-shirts and posters and sending them to my patrons, I have a total profit from Patreon of $341. I actually have my Patreon on hold for the month of January because I'm just trying to look at it again to make sure it's something that I can continue to do. I've struggled with the fact that people are paying so much money to join my Patreon, and I feel weird that I feel like I'm not providing enough value. It's just, I hate taking people's money if I'm not providing something in return. So I've got that on pause for January. I might stop it. I think I only have like 18 patrons, so it's not a huge audience over there, but they are awesome supporters of the channel. I'll put their names across the screen here, but they've been huge supporters. I really appreciate them, and I just want to make sure that I am providing enough for them for what they are giving me in return. So I'm not sure about Patreon going into 2020, but again, that's how much it's made me in 2019. My next source of income has been Amazon affiliates, which is where I put Amazon links in the description of my videos. You guys click on those links and either buy that product that's linked or buy anything else on Amazon within the next 48 hours, I believe. This revenue stream has earned me $141 this year. I'd like to hit this a little bit harder in 2020 because there's a lot of money to be made there, and it doesn't cost you as viewers any extra money. You just click on the link and buy whatever you want on Amazon, and I earn a commission from that, usually between 3 and 4%. I'm not a huge fan of linking like my entire arsenal of reselling tools in every video. Some people's videos, they have 50 or 100 different things linked, and not saying that's a bad thing. I just think it makes my descriptions look a little bit cluttered sometimes. So I try to only link the things in my video that I've either used or talked about in that actual video. I may experiment around with it next year and try to link more things, or maybe make an Amazon storefront, which is just one link that takes you to Amazon and shows you every single thing I use for reselling and YouTube. This is probably one of my favorite sources of income because, again, it doesn't cost you guys anything else. You're just clicking a link, buying whatever you want on Amazon, not paying any extra than you normally would, and I get a 4% commission on that. It's just a really great way to support a YouTuber. So if you want to support me, or if you have another reseller that you'd like to support, just look in the description of their videos, and if they have Amazon links, those are most likely affiliate links. So click it. Anything you buy on Amazon after you click that link within the next 48 hours, they will receive a commission for. So it's a great way to support a YouTube channel. Then my final and smallest source of reselling income in 2019 was my personal coaching calls. This is where people pay me $25 and I give them I'd say it's a 30-minute phone call, and then it was a 45-minute phone call, but one guy the other day, I talked to him for like an hour and a half. So there's not really a time limit. It's not really about making the $25. It's just about weeding out the people who want help, who don't take it seriously enough. I try to do a really good job of answering my comments on my YouTube channel, answering my emails, answering my Instagram direct messages, but if I just did that all day long for free and did everything people asked me to do, I would not have any time to make these videos or to work on my reselling business. So if people reach out with really specific questions and want more detailed help, that's when I would recommend that they do a $25 call, just so I know they're serious. It's not about $25. That's not that much money. It's just about me making sure that I'm using my time to help someone who is serious enough about their business that they don't mind paying $25. In 2019, I have had 5 of these coaching calls, which has made me a total profit of $125. So now we are coming to the total profit for 2019 in my reselling business. Again, you have to remember that I've only been full-time since August, so this is why this amount isn't that great. But in total, I've made roughly $22,000 in actual taxable income in 2019. I am going to deduct some more expenses from that, like I'm going to write off my cell phone bill, I'm going to write off my office space here in my house, I'm going to write off the internet here, so that will decrease a little bit, but these are things that I have to pay for anyway. So really my profit from the business has been about $22,000. Now, thinking about the fact that I've only been hitting this hard since August, that I've learned so much over the last year, over the last month even, I've just gotten better at everything about my business, in my opinion. I'm very excited for 2020. I don't remember if I said earlier in the video, but my goal for 2020 is to do $100,000 in revenue, just me by myself. That'll be all my eBay sales, all my YouTube income, all my Amazon sales if I do a lot there. Everything about my reselling business, I want it to total to $100,000 in 2020. I think that rule of operating about a 50% profit margin will hold true with that amount, even though I think my YouTube income, which is pretty much 100% profit, there's not really any fees or expenses when it comes to that. But I think operating at about a 50% profit margin will still hold true. So $100,000 in revenue in 2020 will give me a taxable income after fees, after expenses, after cost of goods of about $50,000, which I would be 100% comfortable with. I know there are resellers out there that are making over $100,000 a year and they're working by themselves, and that's totally fine and it's certainly doable. But I feel like with my level of experience, I've only been reselling for 15 months. I've only been making YouTube videos since February. So with a person of my experience and the amount of workload I feel comfortable with, I don't want to work 70, 80 hours a week. I think that $100,000 a year goal is just challenging enough to make it tough to get there, but just within reach as well. If you guys want to follow me this next year on my reselling journey as I grow and try to hit these goals, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification so you don't miss any uploads. Also, if you enjoyed this video, if you appreciate my transparency and sharing this information with you guys, make sure you hit the like button for me. It really helps the channel out a ton. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I truly appreciate your time. I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are awesome, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.